So you know what? Let's err on the sluttier side, because I think I'd be happier if it's a little too slutty than if it's a little too conservative. You're talking to me. So this is an old bourbon bottle that I finished a while ago. Hi, Celine. She's so beautiful. Y'all, it is actually fall in Florida. It's like 60, 69, I think is actually the temperature, 69 degrees, and just beautiful. And I'm in a long sleeve shirt. This is amazing. The veil is thinning. It's fall, y'all. Welcome back to Magickal Making. This is the series where I, Chelsea, the content creator and designer behind Knitting Tipsy, combine my love of things that are yarny and witchy together. In this series, I have been working on the Therese Dress by Elizabeth Margaret Designs. I love this dress. You might not know that because I haven't worked on it in a while, but I do love this dress. I am so excited to be nearing the end. This has been a really awesome mindful project. This has been a project that's helping me to connect with my intuition. I have, if you've watched other episodes, you already know this, but I've really kind of been pulling the high priestess energy into this project, and it's been great. However, if you look to see when the last video was, it's been a while since I have filmed for Magickal Making, and honestly, it's been a while since I've worked on the Therese Dress for any kind of significant period of time. A lot of that reason has been my mental health and the health of my sweet buddy Rudy. It was probably a really poor life choice of me 13 years ago to really tie my mental health to the well-being of this little gentleman, but I did it anyways. My baby, he's struggling. If you follow me on Instagram, I've talked about this a lot. I'll try not to talk about it too much, but I feel like it's also a big part of this point in my life and my connection to my magic and my creativity. So yeah, he has not been doing well. We did get good news just recently. I was actually really worried that our time together was just about over. Sorry. But we got really good news Monday, filming this. Boy, we're gonna be all over the place today. But I'm really excited to be filming today because we are gonna film the next 3 days. This is the day before the full moon in Aries. So today's Wednesday, we're gonna film today, Thursday the full moon, and the day after the full moon. Lots of incredible lunar energy in this pocket of time. But back to Rudy. We had gone to the vet on Monday. We were really, really worried. He has canine cognitive disorder, which is like dementia in dogs. He also has had heart disease his whole life. He had a heart murmur ever since we adopted him when he was 1. And for years and years, it was fine. But the last 2 years, he has been on medication because his heart has been getting bigger. The disease has progressed. And starting in January of this year, he developed a cough that was attributed to the heart disease. We have since found out that his cough, we found out on Monday, his cough may actually be because of another issue, tracheal collapse. Luckily, our vet, she's great, and she was like, this we can totally manage. She's like, he does have tracheal collapse, but honestly, what I'm seeing, she thinks it's bronchitis. So yet another little fun illness with my baby. So we have him on steroids, which can be scary to do because of his heart, but his heart has actually improved since his last echo. Witchcraft, I know. I mean, it's not better, but it has improved. So yeah, we're taking our wins where we can. He's had Monday late afternoon is whenever they sedated him so that they could get his x-rays and his echo. Yesterday was Tuesday. He was still having a pretty rough time coming off of the meds. So I haven't slept in a very long time, months really. I haven't slept well. But the past couple of nights especially, I haven't slept for more than 45 minutes to an hour at a time because his cough, it wakes me up and I want to check on him because sometimes he gags or he gets scared and shakes, and gotta be there for my baby. Did you hear me talking about you? Did you hear me? Here, let's see the little man. Hi, buddy. Do you want to come say hi? So I'm just gonna keep my eyes real snoozy in the sunshine here. Okay, buddy, you do you. So yeah, I mean, I'm living the child-free dog mom lifestyle, but I'm getting to experience what it must be like to have a newborn, waking up every 45 minutes to an hour. I'm not nursing him, but if he needed it, I probably would. I know some of you are cringing and some of you are like, yeah, me too. I would do that for my child, my fur baby. It's been a really rough couple of months, but with the good news on Monday and with this full moon coming, I am feeling a little bit of a surge of creative energy. I felt really pulled to work on the Therese dress. I brought it with me when we went to the vet, not knowing what the day would bring, you know, if we were gonna get really bad news and have to make some decisions, or if, you know, it was gonna be great. I honestly, as much as I try to stay positive, I have like my anxiety brain who catastrophizes everything for me, and then I think I've developed this like super positivity that I also try to keep. My therapist has challenged me that every time I catastrophize and I picture the worst case scenario, I also have to picture the best case scenario. I also tend to be a positive, bubbly person by nature somehow. I truly didn't, I was like, it's just not likely. It was so unlikely that the best case scenario would be it. And it was. So yes, I have been feeling more energetic, more creative the past like 2 days. And I've had my Teresa there to comfort me, and I've made quite a bit of progress. So let me show you a photo of where we were the last time we chatted. I think I did a try on, and I was in this section where we are increasing after the chest, and it's a slow increase every, like, I'm not gonna say because I don't want to give pattern information away, but every big chunk of rows we're making an increase to get to the hips. Now, in the original Therese dress, you can see that the slits in the side are, I don't actually have the picture in front of me, but I feel like they're like at the knee-ish. That's not slutty enough for me. I'm a slutty witch. So I want to make sure that my hip slits are higher. So I knew that in the pattern, I'm going to need to stop earlier and do my split to have the front and the back of the pattern. I have not tried this on since the photo that I showed you, but I'm like 70 plus rows in. So I just want to show you how beautiful it is looking. And I'm wondering, especially since Trubu is a grower, I'm wondering if we might be there. Like, as I don't think, and we're not going to get anything accurate right now, but we'll just kind of hold this here. I feel like this is probably covering my cooch and maybe my boot. But I thought, you know, let's do a try on, right? There we go. Let's do a try on to see where we're at, because maybe we are already at the point where I want to split. Maybe we're not. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that in just a second. I am sitting outside just because it's so freaking gorgeous. And in my bedroom, it doesn't have the greatest lighting. If you've been on this channel, you've been in my bedroom a lot and you know that the lighting sucks. But outside and in my bedroom are the two places that keep Rudy calm right now. He gets really anxious if I film in my office, so I can only film for short periods of time. And he does not like when my husband and I are in the living room. That really upsets him. His brain, you know, his brain broke. I wanted to be outside here when I knew I was going to talk to you, and then I'll probably just leave y'all out here while I go put this on, and then we'll turn the camera back on. But this may be your background for the majority of this video over the next couple days. But let me just show you how gorgeous it looks outside. We did have Hurricane Milton. We didn't get hardly anything of Helene here in Orlando where I live, but we did get quite a bit of Hurricane Milton. So we've cleaned up. We haven't put all of our stuff back out yet, but it is just like the perfect weather. 69 degrees, a little bit windy, a little bit sunny. It's gorgeous. This is perfect weather for the full moon. And as we're approaching Samhain, Rudy's staring at me from inside. I don't think y'all can see through the glass. Now, this is a really long intro. I promise I'm gonna go try that on. I just wanted to let you know over the next couple days, you'll definitely get some yarny information, and I am gonna talk more about the full moon because we're gonna do a couple of full moon rituals together. There's nothing big, nothing elaborate, no spells of any kind really, but I do want to charge my crystals. I want to make moon water. I think I'm gonna do a tarot spread and some journaling, just kind of keep it low key since I'll be here alone with Rudy. My husband is out of town for the rest of the week and the weekend, getting some things done back home with our family. So it's just me. I haven't been alone by myself in a really long time. I love my own company. I do. That's something that I discovered. My mom really is not a big alone person. And growing up, I thought that I wasn't either because of my mom. And it's okay if you don't like being alone. It's okay if you love being alone. But I always thought like, oh yeah, I don't want to be alone. And then I started spending some time alone. And I was like, this is awesome. I kind of rock. Like, I have a good time. So I've really enjoyed time by myself. I am very anxious though because of Rudy. I have the catastrophizing side of my head is terrified that something's going to happen when Steve isn't here. But I do know that that's unlikely, and I am also very capable of handling things if something goes wrong and getting him the help and caring for him as he needs. So anyways, yes, we will be doing some full moon activities, and I'm hoping lots of yarning done. We're gonna be watching some witchy, well, I'm gonna be watching some witchy movies. I wish I could actually share that with y'all, but you know, copyright and all that. As always with these episodes, please take what you like. I'm not trying to convert you. I'm not trying to make you believe the things that I believe. I'm just sharing my experiences. All right, I guess without further ado, let's go try on this dress and see where we're at. Okay, I'm moving you over to here so I can lift my tripod up a little bit more, but I don't think we're quite there yet. I mean, I am so in love with the neckline. I'm so glad I made it just a little plungier than intended. But actually, let me move you guys down. We're shrinking. Okay. So here's where we're at. It's hitting like almost at the fullest part of my booty. So honestly, great like long T length. But I think even though I do want it to be slutty, I want it to also be like fully wearable. So I think I need like 10 to 20 more rows. I think that would be good. That would get me, I think, like right below the booty, and then we can do the split. So I think that's going to be the goal. Now, come back up to my height here. Actually, you know what? Let's go back over to the chair to talk. Now, Trubu is a grower. That's the one thing that I'm like, when this blocks, is it gonna lengthen? And before you say, Chelsea, go back and look at your gauge swatch. I don't know where it went. Did we take notes for it? I think we did. Let's look. I have my notebook right here. Therese Dress. I have found my notes for it. So the gauge for the pattern is 21 stitches and 32 rows with 4 inches of stockinette. So I used, I know what I did, but I didn't write down. Well, I'm assuming I meant gauge. That would have been really silly of me to not. Rudy would like you to know that he's upset that I don't even remember if I met Gage. Since it's not otherwise noted, and I'm gonna trust myself, I met Gage for the pattern. I just had to use different needles. Makes total sense. I do think I made a gauge swatch though, and I'm just trying, I wish I would have written down my pre-blocked versus blocked gauge, since True Boo is such a grower. And it's also difficult to know with True Boo because when you have something heavy like a dress that's going to be weighted down with gravity, it does grow more. So you know what? Let's err on the sluttier side, because I think I'd be happier if it's a little too slutty than if it's a little too conservative. And let's do 10 more rows. We'll do 10 more rows because it could pull down even further, and then we're gonna split for the hem. I'm gonna go ahead and set up in the bedroom and get nice and comfy cozy and bang out these 10 rows. Okay, y'all, see you soon. It is Thursday at about 7:15. It's the Hunter full moon today. I'll put in a picture here. It just doesn't do it justice. She was so beautiful this morning. I call the moon Celine, the moon goddess. But she was so beautiful. Rudy woke up around 6. Well, he woke up several times, but around 6, we got up and we came outside. You know, it's still pitch black, but Celine was up in all her glory, and I tried to take a photo, and I feel like it's just such a good reminder for ourselves that, you know, you can't capture the amazing beauty of the moon in a photo. So why do we get upset whenever photos of ourselves don't turn out? You know, it's been a really nice, quiet, peaceful morning. We had a good night. Rudy didn't cough as much. I stupidly stayed up until 12:30 in the morning reading a book. A recommendation for you. If you're looking for a spooky Halloween smutty read. Not really Halloween, but like it's got spooky vibes. Phantasma. There's a lot of hype around it. I will say I loved the first 85% of the book. I loved it. I was so, it's a good time. It's a ride. Yeah. Didn't love the last 15%. maybe it's like the last 10% or the last 5%. I did not care for the ending. I felt like it was really rushed, and I was so confused at the end of it. Like I got it, but I'm also like, what about, like, what really fucking happened? So I reread it, the last 5-10%, and I was still confused. So I went to Reddit and somebody explained it. There were a lot of people that had the same questions as me, and were still wondering certain things at the end of it. I felt like the ending wasn't bad enough to take away from the rest of the book. It was still really good. Wish that ended better. But yeah, we stayed up till 12:30 reading. So it's my own fault if I'm tired today. The full moon is all about self-care, so maybe a self-care nap is in my future today. I did not do those 10 rows. I said I was gonna do yesterday. I was trying to get some work done, and it just did not happen. Rudy had a lot of feelings about us being the only 2 people in the house, and he did not like that I was trying to get work done. So we did the best we could, and then had dinner, and I just got into bed with him. And I should have picked up my knitting. Would have been smart, but instead I read. And that's okay too. This morning, 58 degrees. 58, y'all. I'm gonna get in these last 9 rows. And then we're gonna do the split. Plans today for the full moon. Most of them are gonna come in we'll do one of them like later this afternoon, morning, afternoon. I'm gonna do some journaling and a tarot spread, so I'll show you guys that. But in the evening is when I will set out my crystals and we'll make some moon water together. The full moon is such, just like, you can really do any of the moon cycles to find ways to care for yourself or to, you know, work on your shadow work or to, you know, express yourself spiritually. I do like the full moon for its energy of letting things go that don't serve you and finding peace. Really great activity to do during the full moon is to journal down all the things you want to let go, the things that are like really bothering you, and you know your life would be more peaceful if you weren't holding on to, you know, that grudge or that emotion, that worry. Writing all those down and then really sitting and thinking with them, like, how are they serving me by holding on to these things? You know, visualizing what your life would be like without them, and then taking that like scrap of paper or whatever, and in a fireproof safe dish, you know, in a safe area, burning that, like burn that motherfucker down. It's very cathartic, and it's a really good ritual for reminding yourself to let go. You can also, you don't have to burn it, like you could keep it so that, you know, it's a reminder that you want to continually practice letting these things go. But it's such a simple one to do, and I think it's really helpful. Doesn't mean it's gonna magically work. That'd be great. There's certain things that I write down, I think, every cycle that I'm still working on letting go. And that's okay too, because, you know, it's a journey, it's a process, but we're doing the work for it. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the morning for a little bit, and I will hang out with y'all very soon. So I think this is the last round I'm gonna do. The next step, once I finish this row, is going to be to divide up the front and the back. So I'm gonna put some of the stitches on, did I bring yarn out? Yeah. I have some different colored True. I don't know why I just grabbed the skein. So I'm gonna put, I think, the back half of the stitches, or the back stitches, on the scrap yarn. And I'm going to just work the front. Now, I think I'm only one repeat shy, because you're supposed to do like one more set of these increase rows, but they're like big chunks. They're supposed to be like, you're supposed to continue in pattern for another whole bunch of rows. So I'm a little bit shy of the total ease for like the booty, but I think it's only by like 4 stitches. So I'm not stressing out too much about that. I'll just divide up what I have, and then we're just working in pattern the front and the back until I reach a length that I like. So I will show y'all what it looks like once it's split. The day did kind of get away from me. It's dinner time. I was hoping to have a little more done, but that is okay. It's just been me and Rudy. Rudy's over there looking at me.
It's just been me and Rudy today, and caregiving for an elderly pup can be a little challenging sometimes. So whatever we got done today was enough. I did pour myself, and I'm keeping it well away from my project, don't worry, because I am kind of breaking my whip and sip rules. I feel like because every time I take a sip, I'm moving the project like to the side. Taking a sip over here, I feel like it's okay. Once I get this little man fed and I feed myself, we're gonna do some witchy shit. I did clean my kitchen, which I feel like cleaning is a really good thing to do on the full moon too. I've left the door open a lot today, trying to let some of the breeze blow in, get rid of some of the stagnant energy in the house, and having a clean kitchen just makes me feel so much better. So we'll make a little moon water, set out some crystals, and I'll show you the tarot spread that I'm gonna do tonight. All right, y'all, it is evening. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I am gonna go ahead and put my moon water out and my crystals out. So let me show you how I make moon water. It's a really simple process. Some people do it differently, but like really anybody can do it. If you don't want to get like all fancy like I'm about to get, you can literally sit a bottle of water outside under the full moon and just like let it sit there, let it soak up the full moon energy. And if you want, you could like set an intention, like hold on to it, you know, think about the energy that you want to have, you want that water to have, especially like while you're drinking it, or using it for different things you can do with moon water. If you're like, why the hell would I make moon water? You can use moon water, you can drink it if you have like, you know, purified spring water, some sort of drinkable water that is in a sealed vessel. You can totally do that. You can use it in your bath. That's one of my favorite ways, is just like to create an experience out of the bath. And a lot of times when we take baths, we're cleansing our bodies, but we're also kind of relaxing and cleansing our spirits. And if you add moon water to a bath, it's just like this extra energy to put in your water. You can use it in spells if you're into spell work. I do occasionally do things with spells and moon water. One of my favorite things, I don't know if it's like necessarily spelled, but I make sea witch soak. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen it before, or if you have shopped some of my shop updates before. My sea witch soak is a wool wash. It's a really gentle wool wash that I make with moon water made here in Florida. And I also add some other kind of witchy ingredients. I charge all of them with positive intentions. And it's a really nice way to wash your handmaids to kind of infuse that energy in. But if you don't want to buy a wool wash made with moon water, you could also just use moon water to wash your handmaids and then add whatever wool wash you have. That is a wonderful way to infuse your handmaids with extra energy for different purposes. Another thing I really like to use moon water for is cleaning. Like cleaning the house, especially door frames and the floor, anywhere where you can like, where people are coming in and out of your house, or maybe where you're setting for a long period of time and that kind of stagnant energy can clear. You know, when you just get like bad vibes, it's a great thing to use for cleaning. You can also make like a room spray, same thing, like the vibes are off. You can add some essential oils to your water. I have one that has like some white vinegar in it that I use just to like kind of clean my countertops, like de-dusting and things. De-dusting, I don't think that's a word, dusting. There we go. There are so many different ways to use moon water. It's very versatile because it's just water that's been charged under the full moon. So here's how I make mine. I get some sort of vessel. You're talking to me. So this is an old bourbon bottle that I finished a while ago. And I think this was from last August. It was the full moon in Aquarius. I often have some washi tape and a marker because you will find I have moon water all around my house. I really enjoy making it, and then I have to remind myself to use it. I think I'm going to use some this week from past full moons. But with this one, so today I'm gonna go ahead and write on my washi tape that today is October 17th and it is the full moon in Aries. If you're not into astrology, Aries is a fire sign. This is a really good full moon for makers. If you are like feeling really passionate right now, if whether that be like about your craft or just in general, like you're feeling your anger, you're feeling your energy, you're feeling desire to start a new project, desire in general, all of these things are very normal in this full moon because of Aries. This is also a really good full moon for practicing self-love, and all full moons are good for letting go. Another thing that I like to do on the side, because of all of, you know, you're remembering all these things, is I like to write some intentions that I'm kind of gonna think about while I'm setting the water out there, and these are the affirmations, the intentions that I really want the water to be fused with. This is from the Pulp Girls on Instagram. They have full moon affirmations for all the signs every full moon. Okay, so here are mine if you're a Capricorn. It is healing to feel and express all my emotions. I allow myself to rest and replenish my energy. I am glowing with soothing, centered energy. I release the need to always be available to others. I really like that. The two I'm gonna focus on from this are, it is healing to feel and express all my emotions. Going through a rough time, it's important to remember that all feelings are valid and it's okay to express them. And I also really like this, I am glowing with soothing, centered energy. I struggle regulating my emotions sometimes, so I feel like that's a really nice one, like to remind yourself, you're kidding me. I don't think I have any more. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna repeat those affirmations outside holding the bottle. I don't need to write them down, I'll know what they are. Before I fill this with water, I like to do, it's been regularly cleansed like soap and water, and now I'm gonna do a smoke cleanse. This incense is Dragon's Blood. It's one of my favorites for cleansing and purifying. This is not saging or smudging. Those are considered closed practices, and you really like it. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but you know, it's a good idea to listen to native people. So I don't use sage anymore in my practice. I do use incense because it's really convenient, but I also try to use things that are like local to the area or, you know, easy to find. Like rosemary makes for great cleansing and protection, as does cinnamon sticks. Like the cinnamon sticks that you get at the grocery store, you can burn them and you can cleanse with cinnamon. It's a great one. Cinnamon brings abundance. It's also really good for protection. Now, I'm not gonna be drinking out of this, but I am still gonna use some purified water. And I also forgot I have this one too. I have this really pretty bottle that I got from Joann's. So I'm making two because I do think I haven't done a shop update with my Sea Witch soak in a really long time. And I do have moon water, but I feel like this moon water in particular is really good for makers, as I've said. So I want to make a batch of Sea Witch soak with this particular moon water, this particular moon's energy, I guess I should say. So this one is like for my personal use. Next up, we just fill up the bottles and then we're gonna put them outside and we'll see if we can find the moon. She's coming up over here. Let's see if we can find her. Oh, there she is. So the track for our house, she's gonna curl around, and then right by the palm tree is where she'll set. But, hi, Celine. She's so beautiful. And again, remember that she's so much more beautiful in person, and it's really hard. You going in, buddy? Do you want to go? Yeah, good job. Good job, baby. It's really hard to capture just how beautiful the moon is on video or on camera. And, you know, when you see pictures you don't like of yourself, just remember, it's hard to capture that beauty sometimes. So we have the moon water out. And I want to make sure I let you know that if you live in an apartment that you don't have a balcony, or maybe things just aren't safe out there, you can totally put things on your windowsill. As long as it's like by a window that maybe gets some moonlight, it's totally fine. I have the ability to set things out outside, so that's what I like to do. It feels good, connects me with nature. I also want to show you guys some of the crystals I'm gonna set out there. So let me turn on a light. Crystals, to care for your crystals, you want to keep them clean and keep them charged. I have a ton of crystals. I have a lot. So these are just ones that I have handpicked that I want to charge. I feel like they kind of embody the spirit and the energy of this moon. We have some tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is a good protective and grounding stone. It's also great for courage and bravery. I've got some red jasper and carnelian. These are very like Aries fiery signs. They're good for creativity. They're good for passion. I have a sunstone and a citrine. These are good for happiness, bringing luck and abundance. And I could really use some of that in my life. I have another little tiger's eye. This is my black tourmaline. I like to have this one with me when I travel, and same with the smoky quartz. These two are really good for like keeping negative energy away and protecting you and helping you ground. So like if you're a panic attack girly like me, these are really good ones. Labradorite. How gorgeous is this labradorite? Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And I thought this is labradorite, but I don't think it is now. Anybody know what crystal this is? Let me know. I'm going to charge it anyways. I also have my amethyst. I keep this one by my bed. It's great for dreaming, to keep away nightmares. It's also a great stone to connect you with your intuition. Hello, High Priestess. Fluorite for focus and concentration. Some rose quartz and some aura quartz for practicing self-love. Howlite is a really good healing stone for your emotions and your energy. If you're healing from trauma, this is a really good one. My moonstone, we have a full moon. Again, a great one for connecting with intuition and, basically all of the High Priestess energy, your divine feminine, your intuition, your third eye. Moonstone is great for that. I can't remember the last time I charged this clear quartz. It's kind of like a dirty clear quartz, but I like it. I've put it in plants before. I've put it, buried it in the ground for certain things. I love this one. And then also just a seashell. I always like to bring a little bit of sea magic in. And I have a rose quartz wand. My friend got this for me in Salem. Nikki, if you watch this, I love you. So I'm also going to charge this baby. So I'm going to put all of these guys probably just out on a tray and cover them with some saran wrap so that they don't get dewy, and put them outside. Guess who remembered that flashlights exist? Okay, so here is Papa Noel, the palm tree. And here is my little setup here. I have both of the moon waters and my crystals. I'm gonna move this guy over a little bit. And there we go. They are all ready for Celine. Would you like to hear a scary story? I have done the split. It doesn't look like a whole lot, so I'm planning on putting on a movie, getting ready for bed, and doing a little more knitting. I will show you where we are in the morning. Happy full moon. Morning. It's like 9:30. I slept way in. I didn't sleep very well last night. Rudy was up a couple times and I just had weird dreams, which full moon makes sense. But this morning I kept dreaming that I was up and doing things, And then like I'd realize I wasn't and be like, this is a dream. And then I'd be like, oh, let me actually get up out of bed and go do things. And then that was a dream. And it just kept happening. And when I finally woke up, do you know, I was up earlier for real in the, like around 6, because I feed the dog at 6 and he was outside. I just want to make sure he was okay. And I was like, did I really do that, or was that a dream? And I was also dreaming about this pumpkin spice latte thing that I had ordered with my Daily Harvest. If you don't know what Daily Harvest is, I love it. It's great. It's like kind of like a delivery service like HelloFresh or the other ones, but everything's fully prepared and it's all vegetarian. I'm not a vegetarian. I mean, I love vegetarian meals, but it's so good and makes it for really easy, healthy like lunches and breakfasts and stuff. So anyways, I had got their pumpkin spice latte and I dreamt about it. Sorry for the ramble. Look at this little man outside. Good morning. So we're gonna bring in my buddy all of our stuff. Let's hope that it didn't rain or anything last night. Oh yeah, they look great. Perfect, all charged. That's all there is to it, y'all. So I'll put you down. I'm gonna bring these in. I did not get to do my tarot yesterday, so I'm thinking maybe do it today. Where's that little man? There he is. Yeah, and this is Papa Noel, the palm tree. He's a very good palm tree. Very beautiful palm tree. He's a Christmas palm, or an Adonidia. We love him. It's back in the 70s. It goes up to high 70s today, and then tomorrow we're back in the 80s, baby. Florida. We have our face washed. I did not yet brush my teeth though. I'm glad y'all aren't here to smell me because I was drinking my pumpkin spice latte. I'm sitting out here. I have my tarot basket. I got this basket at Joann's. It was on sale. My husband's like, what are you gonna do with that? I'm like, I will find a purpose. And it has just slowly become my tarot basket because I like to do tarot outside mostly, but I keep all my stuff inside. So I just kind of put everything in there and then it's easily transportable. So I have that with me, and I pulled up the spread that I wanted to do today. This is from Moon Mama Oracle. I'll put the name here. She's on Instagram and she's lovely. She also has a Ko-fi, but she posted 2 days ago her full moon release spread. So it has a little bit of full moon, a little bit of like, since we're in the witchy season, the Samhain season, and we're gonna pull 8 cards, which is a lot of cards. I tend to try to pull like 5 or less, and it's just because otherwise I feel overwhelmed, but I'm just gonna go with this one. We're just gonna go see what the cards are feeling. I'm not gonna do a super deep introspection where like I write everything down, which is what I do a lot. I write them down and like I really sit and think about them. I just kind of want to go with the flow, first impressions kind of thing. I have felt lately like I want to work with my Santa Muerte deck, but I don't know this deck as well. And this is kind of like a deep introspection deck. When you get a new deck of tarot cards, I always recommend doing an interview spread and hanging out with your cards a little bit. When you do an interview spread, you can kind of find out what the deck is best suited for, because you can have it just one deck and it can be an all-purpose deck. But I have 3 decks. I have the Santa Muerte deck. I have my all-purpose deck. Let me find it. It's in my Tipsy Tarot tote. This is a free pattern for Ko-fi subscribers. If you join my Ko-fi, you can get this pattern for free. And this is just like a really typical Rider-Waite tarot deck. It has like the very traditional image. Oh, it's Temperance. I thought for a second, seeing it in the camera upside down, I thought it was the High Priestess, and I was gonna say that's pretty kick-ass. But very kind of traditional imagery. When I did my interview spread with this one, oh my God, so many years ago. Michael Sean actually gifted me my first tarot deck. It had to have been like 2018 or 2019. Did the interview spread, and it was just, I think one of the cards that I got, it was like, this is your party deck, which I thought was pretty fun. When I purchased the Santa Muerte deck, it was very like, this is not your party deck. Like, this is a deck for solo use. This is a deck for deep introspection, things like that. So, and what one person feels for their deck, you might have the same deck as them, and you might feel something completely different, and that's okay. But I do love the kind of Dia de Muertos energy. The star, like, look how gorgeous. And for anybody watching, like, because they're, you know, skeletons, this is not devil worship or anything like that. They're actually quite beautiful. And tarot's not evil. Tarot is not, I don't know, what a lot of people think it is. You can use tarot even if you don't believe in all the witchy shit. You can just use it as tarot prompts, or journal prompts. It's really great for people who like literary analysis, and you know, who like to do self-care, work on themselves and do some healing. So tarot is different for everyone, and it is what you make of it. So I just think these are so cool. The imagery is different. And like, I kind of want to work with this deck today, but because that's not my purpose, I'm going to save this for whenever I work on my Samhain spread next week or the week after. I also have 2 oracle decks. Oracle decks and tarot decks are very different. There's nothing wrong with using one over the other. I will just say oracle decks tend to be more love and light, and sometimes that's what you need. And like messages from the universe kind of things, whereas tarot is the journey of the fool through life, and you get all the emotions. You get the good with the bad. Oracle tends, hear that wind? Oracle tends to not, you know, do that, but that's okay. I have this beautiful Moonology deck. I love this one for pulling like a card for the week, and they all come with excuse me, really nice little guidebooks that explain more about the cards. The other deck that I have that I love, I have the Sacred Hags Oracle deck. It is incredible. I did my interview spread with that one, and I have never felt witchier. It was pretty cool. So I really like that deck as well. I haven't worked with either of my Oracle decks in quite a long time. Again, this has just been like a really hard few months, and I've worked with my tarot more, but still haven't really worked with it all that much. So we are going to use my regular deck today. I like to knock 3 times to wake up my deck. It also helps cleanse it. You know what, I should have put my cards out last night to charge under the moon. Put them out tonight. I did do a spread 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and it was like, what does this season hold for you? And it looked like such a sweet spread. It had like little pumpkins and skulls on it. I can't remember if it was Moon Mama Oracle or somebody else, and I was just having a good day, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull some tarot. And the spread was so like crushing that I reached out to my friend Jess of Wild Moon Witchery. If you are into witchy things and you want somebody knowledgeable who posts on Instagram, she also has a Ko-fi that she does events and she sells witchy products. She is incredible. That's Wild Moon Witchery. I kind of sent my spread to her and what I was feeling about it, and she's like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not good, but it wasn't as terrible as I was kind of seeing it, but it makes sense for what I'm going through now. So we're just taking it day by day. We are savoring the good moments while we can. I like to, there's different ways of pulling. Some people just pull, which is great. I like to kind of hold my cards, think about it, let my finger find a card, set it down, look at the next card, think about the meaning. So mine takes a little longer, but that's okay. So a card to represent me. Oh, a card to represent something that's holding me back. Oh, that card is so accurate though. I'll just show you as we go. This is me. Okay. Something holding me back. I read reversals. Some people don't. What thought about myself needs to be released? Let it go, let it go. Ooh. Death is not a bad card, by the way. What moment from the past month do I need to release? So many to pick from. Ooh, what moment from a past life am I refusing to release? I did a drunken past life reading with Michael Sean. It can't be accurate because we were very much drunk and influencing each other, but I was a pirate madam, and I believe that could be true. From a past life. Sacrificed at sea, which is why I'm afraid of the ocean. Awesome. Awesome. What idea about the world am I ready to release? About the world. Whew. It's on fire. Interesting. So many reversals. 4 out of 6 reversals so far. What is my inner child ready to release this month? If you struggle to connect with your inner child, sometimes you're not alone. Another reversal. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. And if you don't know what these cards mean, don't worry, I am going to tell you. Well, I'm going to give you my interpretation. And card to represent me after I release these things. Can I? Yes, you can. Okay. All right. Well, let's look at these guys. Like I said, we're kind of doing this fast and dirty. I do have my tarot study book with me because, like, I know a lot of the meanings, and I feel no shame that I have to look things up from time to time. But yeah, we're just kind of doing first impressions. And I am going to take a picture of this, though, in case I want to journal with it later and kind of reflect on it. So the card that represents me is the 5 of Cups. So Cups a lot of times is your emotions. It is a water sign. This is actually when I was talking to some people and they asked, like, what is one of the cards that hits you most viscerally or that you're most afraid of or different things, and this is one of my cards. This is one of the cards that I don't like. I find it so incredibly sad. Like, this card just hits me. But if you notice, there are these 3 spilled cups and he's mourning. So, you know, this could be a death. This could be, you know, a loss of some kind, you know, financial loss even. But he's forgetting that there are 2 filled cups behind him. A lot of times this card represents sadness, despair, grief, which is definitely where I am. It can also be old wounds or your inner child. It can also be self-pity, blame, depression, needing to forgive or to move on. So when all seems lost and you are bereft, like, you still have things, is kind of what this card is reminding us of. Something hasn't turned out as expected, but we're kind of wallowing instead of moving on, which is true. For me, because of the things happening with my dog and just having depression in general, like, this is definitely me right now. But I do have a lot of good things in my life, and I'm finding it hard to kind of pull myself out of the pit of sadness and despair because, you know, just every day it's something new. But one thing that I really think about with this card, like these 2 things behind me, is like, I need to care for myself better in order to, you know, be able to still enjoy life. Like, I am also a priority. I can't just, you know, be sad and sacrifice everything for my fur baby, and, you know, with my depression. Like, there are things that I can do to pull myself out of this and remind myself that there's a lot left to be happy about. So, me currently. Okay, something holding me back. So usually the 10 of Wands are like passion, energy, creativity, desire. And this 10 of Wands is like, you feel overwhelmed, you feel burdened, but you're almost there. And it's okay to like set down your load and ask for help and all of that, which I could see that being it, but I'm gonna actually pull out my tarot study here and see what we have for the 10 of Wands reversed. Of course, I don't have the reversal written down. I haven't studied that. If you ever decide to get into tarot study, one great resource is Biddy, B-I-D-D-Y, Biddy Tarot. So here we have the 10 of Wands. We're gonna look at reversed. Doing it all, whoops. Sorry, my camera went down. Doing it all, carrying the burden, delegation and release. And then if you scroll down, this is upright, and here we can get the reversal. When the 10 of Wands reversed appears in a tarot reading, it's often a sign that you're trying to do too much by yourself. In your effort to be everything to everyone, you have found yourself struggling under the weight of it all. Delegate and share the work. You don't have to do it alone. Be firm in saying no to the things you can't take on. It's imperative that you put your self-care and well-being first. Otherwise, you'll burn yourself out and be of no help to anyone. It's like they say, put on your own oxygen mask first. Can also suggest you're carrying a heavy weight on your shoulders, but you're keeping it private. Am I keeping it private? You're unwilling to share the burden with others. You may be grappling with emotional trauma, carrying a dark secret, dealing with increased responsibilities. However, you do not feel comfortable sharing this with others by talking about it or asking for help. In effect, you're pushing away the people who can help you. It may also be a huge relief to you when you do share some of this burden with others, as they are ready and willing to support. Sometimes the reverse 10 of Wands shows that you are holding on to this burden when you do not need to do so. If you are feeling weighed down by your present circumstances, look at ways you might lighten the load. Can you delegate certain tasks and responsibilities? Are you worrying about matters that do not concern you or cannot be changed? Do not become a martyr. Okay, take on more than you can realistically handle. On the positive side, if you are going through a challenging time, then the 10 of Wands reversed assures you that this time will soon pass and you will be able to set down this weight. That's pretty bittersweet. You may also be actively identifying those activities that do not bring any value in your life, and you are releasing yourself from these additional responsibilities. Consider going through a purging process, clearing out old clothes, selling old furniture to declutter and simplify your life. You will benefit from better organization and prioritization and enjoy the lightness that comes with such release. Sometimes the cards are, they don't pull any punches. Yeah. There's nothing I can do, really, about the present circumstances, and I try to remind myself a lot as a Capricorn who loves to be in charge of things, who has anxiety. Control makes me feel safe, but there are a lot of things out of my control, and, this situation is one of them, so maybe letting go of what I can't change, letting go of the future. Oh, boy. Great fun, great fun. Okay, next up. What thought about myself do I need to release? So death is a cool card. It can mean death, but it also a lot of times means change and like the cyclical nature of life and rebirth. So when we get to the reversal, again, I'm going to my book to consult the reversal. What am I doing here? What thought about myself do I need to release? Okay, this is all about resistance to change, personal transformation, and inner purging. You still carry harmful viewpoints from the past that may interfere with new opportunities. I do carry some harmful viewpoints about myself. Embrace change, do not resist it. Use the mantra, this is my tarot study, I embrace change in all forms. It can also be that I'm going through a massive personal transformation. I need to release what no longer serves me, make space for the new to emerge. This says to draw a follow-up card to better understand what I need to release. Well, I have some follow-up cards here. So what thought about myself do I need to release? Maybe just those those thoughts about myself that are, you know, not allowing me my personal transformation right now, that I've had for, you know, a lot of time, that have been holding me back. I could see that. All right. What moment from the past month do I need to release? Oh, 5 of Wands. This is a tough one. I am non-confrontational, so I do tend to like bottle up things that bother me. And when you get the 5 of Wands, this is usually like, I think, is it betrayal or is it just like arguments? Conflict. There we go. Conflict, disagreement, competition, diversity, tensions, and misunderstandings. I am not going to talk about what I think this card means, but I think I know what this card means. And that is something that I should let go of. And it's something that I actively work on in therapy to let go of. So we're going to leave it at that. Next, what moment from a past life? Oh, this is a fun one. So the Tower. If you are not a tarot person, this is the card that fucks shit up. This is the card of like chaotic, destructive transformation. It can be very scary, but it's also like, it's usually for the greater good. But like getting the Tower in a reading is always like, oh fuck, holy shit. Like it's a big deal. I don't know much about the Tower reversed though, or maybe I do and I'm just like, I don't know. Let's see. Look how much I have written about the Tower. Okay, reversals. You are undergoing significant personal transformation. I think my cards are kind of agreeing with that. This is internal. I'm questioning beliefs, values, purposes. I got to trust the process. You're creating change to the new and evolved you. This is kind of fun because, you know, we think about past lives. Like, hopefully each past life we are becoming more evolved, if you believe in this kind of stuff. So, like, I'm in this process of deep personal transformation. Yeah, I would say that. I would say I'm doing things in this life that are, you know, kind of labeling me the black sheep in certain ways, and kind of breaking some generational traumas and things like that. Okay. Again, I'm getting another stop clinging to old beliefs. This change is inevitable. No amount of hiding or delaying will make it go away. I love that I wrote that down. Thanks, past Chelsea. Okay, good to know. What idea about the world am I ready to release? This one's interesting to me. So the 2 of Cups, it's the same with the Lovers for me. If it's not a relationship reading, I feel like I often struggle with. So upright, 2 of Cups, you know, we have this couple here, and you can tell that this is probably a card of like unification and love, which it is. But in the reversed position, self-love. Cool. So what am I ready to release? Self-love? Accept and appreciate who you are. Maybe because the world loves to make women think that they shouldn't love themselves, that, you know, as an individual, we can make no change, and that we should always be unsatisfied and unhappy. You know, capitalism makes us think, oh, your life sucks, but if you buy this thing, you'll feel better, you'll be better. So yeah, maybe realizing that I am enough as I am, and, you know, small acts of kindness and love do make a change in the world. That's what we're going with. Okay. Next we have, what is my inner child ready to release? Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. The Wheel of Fortune is another one that like I don't particularly love because, again, of that control aspect. This is change. This is like, you got to go with the flow. This is, you know, you can't stop the wheel from turning. So my inner child, ooh, this reversal. Bad luck may be coming. Unexpected changes. Ooh, the wind. See? Nobody wants me to have this card right now. Negative forces may be at work. Take control of your destiny. Get your life back on track. Accept responsibility for your current situation. Resistance to change. So my inner child, how are we going to interpret that? because, you know, like, it's not a kid's fault for things that happen. And oh, looking at this from like a slightly different viewpoint, as a kid, like, if everybody has one basic emotion that you could boil it down to, like, some people is anger, lucky them. I was never allowed to express anger as a child. But, you know, different emotions, you know, some people might be joy. That's awesome for them. Some people might have, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like sadness. I think mine is like guilt and shame. I am constantly afraid that people are mad at me. I'm constantly, you know, if something's wrong, I'm the first to apologize anytime. Even if I know I'm not wrong, like, to me, it's just, oh, okay, I must have come across wrong, or, you know, thing. Yeah, it's that guilt and shame. So, you know, if anything bad happened, I blamed myself. Like, I deserve this. I caused this to happen somehow. Maybe I gotta let that go. I have made a lot of progress on that through the years, and especially the last few years in therapy. But that is something that, like, little Chelsea would have believed of herself. So, am I still carrying that? Probably. Interesting. Okay. Last card. Ooh. A card to represent me after I release these things. This is a great one. The Page of Wands. Again, Wands is passion and creativity. The page is often like that first start of things, like the like excitement for something new. So this one is inspiration, ideas, discovery, and free spirit. Inclined to give everything and anything a go. Excited to start a new journey, even if you don't have a solid plan in place. But you must beware and get grounded. Strategize first. You have a gift for dreaming up new creative ideas. A spiritual path may be calling your curious mind. Be open. Look for a mentor. I could see that. Like, if I release all this shit, I will be so down for new adventures and, you know, probably be full of creative energy. That makes total sense, because if I didn't have all this holding me back, I mean, I'm not saying like my dog is holding me. Like, obviously, I love my dog. I know that he's going to pass at some point. And I do know that that is going to free up a lot of time and energy and stuff. Doesn't mean I want it to happen, but I know that that is a fact. But so not all of this is about my dog, I think. And, you know, letting go of all that, I would be a much lighter person. Interesting spread. Tarot is cool. Okay, so that was the tarot for today that I wanted to, oh wait, I want to get a picture of that if I want to do some further reflection. Yeah, I did not make much further progress last night. I told y'all that I was gonna watch a movie and work more on the dress. I fell asleep. But that's okay, because Rudy had me up quite a bit, and then I was up from like 4 to 6, and so it was good to get to bed a little bit early. But that does mean that I don't have a ton of progress to show. I need to get some things done first, but I was gonna wrap this up right now, but I do want to show you how cool it is looking. So we're gonna pause right now. I'm gonna get some stuff done, and there will be one more little snippet video to show you what the dress is looking like. And then honestly, y'all, I think there's only gonna be one more episode of this Magickal Making with the Therese Dress, because I think it'll be pretty wearable at that point. Off to do the things that I need to do, and I'll see y'all soon. Hey y'all, once again, the day has gotten away from me. I feel like that's just like what I say every day. That's just my mantra. The day has gotten away from me. But I was able to get some work done. I was able to clean the house. I didn't get to like sit and work on this since the split, but I wanted to show you how pretty the split looks. So let me turn this on its side. Okay, so here we have that really beautiful like seam that we're creating down the side with the pearl ridges, and it has the increases in it, and then this is where we are separating. So I am just working back and forth on this front portion, and then I'll pick up these stitches and do the same. But I think this is going to look really nice and neat. In the pattern, we will be adding like a little bit of a border almost to the sides here of the panel, like of the flaps of the hem, and then also to that back neckline, which in the pattern is the front of the neckline. But remember, we did the V in the front. So still got quite a bit of work. I have remathed it, like from the point that I'm at, the rows to make up for where the split usually is, and then the rows that she suggests to use. So quite a few rows, but I have to say just the few that I've done went really fast because, you know, only working half of the stitches. So I am excited to see where it goes. This is, again, going to be such a nice meditative project. I am going to put it down for a little bit so I can work on my Magickal Make-Along project. If you don't know, I am hosting, here, let me turn the camera to talk about this. If you don't know, I am hosting the Magickal Make-Along with my Ko-fi. By the time this video goes up, the Make-Along is going to be almost over. But it's been so incredible to get to do a Make-Along with my Ko-fi members. I absolutely adore them. The support and encouragement they give and the community that we've started building over in our Ko-fi space and on Discord is just really cool. We had a cast-on party. There are so many good prizes. Actually, I need to pick a prize winner today for week 4. It's been great. So I am going to work on my Magickal Make-Along project, which is my Sexy-Gon cardie. I'll pop in a picture here. It's the velvet Sexy-Gon. It's so good. And yeah, but I new goal for myself, because this is not going to be done by Samhain. I think it would be the perfect Yule dress, wouldn't it? Because like with the silver, you know, I could go traditional kind of Christmassy colors and pair it with green or with red, but I actually think like silver and gold would be so pretty, and I think it would be a really nice thing to have, like to finish it and then to wear it with like a really cozy cardigan on top for my Yule ritual that I do. And we're home in Florida this year, so fingers crossed it's a warm one. But that's going to be my goal. So the last episode of this Magickal Making series with the Therese Dress, I will pick a different project next time and a different tarot card to represent. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about how the High Priestess really kind of influenced this project the whole way through. And I think it'll be fun. And you'll get to see in the next episode how she looking. So I feel like this one maybe have been a little chaotic. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the project and you enjoyed hearing me ramble about witchy things. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. If you haven't subscribed, please, please, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.